Hello and welcome to News Across Nigeria. I'm Joke Rogers. Coming up on the program. Acting President Professor Yemi Osinbajo returns from London, says President Muhammadu Buhari is recuperating fast. Supreme Court validates the decision of the National Working Committee of the People's Democratic Party, which appointed Ahmed Makafi as the chairman of the party's caretaker committee. And later, the Minister of Interior, Lieutenant General Abdulrahman Dambazau, visits Cross River State's governor, condemns ejection of Nigerians from Cameroon. Welcome. We begin with comments from the acting president, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, that President Muhammadu Buhari is recuperating fast and should be back in the country soon. However, he did not state the specific date of return. Professor Osinbajo, who arrived from London this morning, says he had a long discussion with him on a wide range of issues, particularly on the economy. He was speaking to State House correspondents at the presidential villa in Abuja.
First, as you know, I went to see him to check up on him, find out how he was doing. I had, of course, been speaking to him on the phone, and I thought it would be a good thing to go and see him and, generally check up on how he was doing, and also to brief him on developments back at home. So we had a very good time, had a very good conversation on wide-ranging issues, and he's in very good spirits. He's recuperating very quickly, and he's doing very well. Well, as I've said, he's in very high spirits. He's recuperating very quickly. We had a very long conversation. We spoke for well over an hour, and his humor is all there. He's doing well.
Acting President Professor Yemi Osinbajo. Staying in Abuja, the Supreme Court has validated the decision of the National Working Committee of the People's Democratic Party to appoint Ahmed Makafi as the chairman of the party's caretaker committee. With this judgment, Senator Ali Modu Sharif ceases to be the party's national chairman, while the leadership of the party will now be in the hands of the former Kaduna State governor. The three-man Supreme Court panel, led by Justice Olabode Rhodes-Viver, ruled that the appeal court, which affirmed Ali Modu Sharif as chairman of the party, should have considered other articles in the PDP constitution before nullifying the agreements reached at the Port Harcourt Convention last year. The court therefore ruled that dissolving the National Working Committee was properly done by the convention.
We are very happy. It's one party. They are brothers and sisters. They must go back home and work together as a team. Nobody is rejoicing over the other. The judgment is correct. This is the Supreme Court. There's nowhere else to go. They must be reconciled to the judgment, be reconciled to one another, and come together and work together as a party for the good of the nation.
Meanwhile, reactions are beginning to trail the Supreme Court judgment. Some of the leaders of the party who spoke with Channels Television say the party can now perform its role as a credible opposition.
One thing we can take home is that we have been vindicated that the convention that took place on 21st of May in Port Harcourt 2016 was right. I can say that this brings back PDP as a strong opposition party to challenge the APC-led government, which has not been performing to the needs of Nigerians. And all I can say to those of us, for those of them who have lost, that we are all brothers and sisters who must move ahead to reposition PDP for ahead of 2019. So I'm happy and I thank God and give him the glory that at the end of the day we have been vindicated.
For justice, and this represents hope and future for Nigeria. The attempt to silence opposition has come to an end today. And by the grace of God, the party is set for victory in 2019.
Excited, we congratulate the justices because they've judged correctly and they've set in motion a new powerful process of democracy in Nigeria. We want to congratulate all our members right across the Federal Republic of Nigeria that democracy has come to stay, the PDP is alive, the PDP will move, the PDP will take over.
In other news now, more than a dozen people are reported to have been killed and many others injured in Maiduguri, the Borno state capital, after suicide bombers attacked the city. The bombings, which were confirmed by the State Police Command, occurred in 4 areas in the city and were launched at about 10 p.m. yesterday. Meanwhile, the Nigerian Army says troops of the 7 Brigade Special Forces, 8 Task Force Division, have dislodged suspected terrorists who have been gathering in Dawashi Gari village, an area bordering the Lake Chad in northern Borno state. The Army, in a statement by the spokesman of the 8 Task Force Division, explains that the soldiers killed 4 terrorists while others fled, abandoning their motorcycles, which were recovered and destroyed. The Minister of Interior, Lieutenant General Abdulrahman Dambazao, has condemned the recent ejection of Nigerians from Cameroon. The minister, who visited the Cross River State Governor in Calabar, says the federal government has respect for the fundamental human rights of the victims. Meanwhile, Governor Ben Ayade wants the federal government to cater to the needs of the refugees, considering the hardship they are presently subjected to.
A number of our citizens were forcibly ejected from the castle because it wasn't long that we signed a tripartite agreement between Nigeria, Cameroon, and UNHCR over the issue of the refugees that are in Cameroon as a result of the Boko Haram insurgency in the northeast, on how to ensure that we protect those victims of circumstances who are mostly women and children, and also to ensure that where there is going to be return, it is done in a very dignified manner while protecting their fundamental human rights. So it is absolutely necessary that we ensure that wherever our citizens reside in this world, we protect them.
As you have just mentioned, again, it's an internal affair of this country, that your people, the people of Cross River State, the people of Bakassi, our own people, have been chased out of their ancestral home by a lopsided illegal secession ceding of Bakassi Peninsula to the Cameroons. They have been so dislocated, indeed, that today, those returnees that have been sent out by the Cameroon gendarmes, they live on canoes. If I send you more pictures, it will be very horrifying. They would like you also to visit the people of Bakassi, so you can see for yourself what is called extreme neglect and poverty. That poverty that denies you the feeling of honor and integrity, that makes you feel less than a human being. The dehumanization of the human dignity that is so extreme and pervasive that as you get up, mother and child sleeping on the same narrow mattress on a bare floor in an open school, knowing not when the next meal will come.
When news across Nigeria returns, more diversification efforts by the federal government. The government is to establish a cashew processing plant in Oyo State, southwest Nigeria. In a moment, please stay with us.